Hey, everybody.
Welcome back to the Rev Mel Show, and we're going to give away the book. Okay, are you ready?
Give away the book.
Let's give away the book. This is the book, The Wild Side Sex, a book of kink by Midori, and it's signed by her. Okay, you see that?
Let me see what she signed. Let me see that
Japanese.
signature.
Can you read Japanese?
I can, as a matter of fact.
Can you?
This is, oh, she's bad. You guys all think I can speak Japanese, don't you? That's what it says. There we go.
So the question is, are you ready? And call us at 323-272-3536. This is, you got to get on the internet and you got to find it. Okay, the question is, what? Is this a joke? Yes! What state was Guy Baldwin born in? A, Michigan. C, California. B, California. This is ridiculous. B, California. C, Florida. D, Colorado. E, none of the above.
And F, sin.
F, fuck you.
Born in the state of sin.
S as in sin. So if you know the answer to this question, please call us. What state was Guy Baldwin born in? A, Michigan. B, California. C, Florida. D, Colorado. E, none of the above. And S, sin.
Oh, there it is.
Hello, it's Rev Mel. You're on the air.
There it is. Hi, Rev Mel.
Hello.
Hi, Rev Mel. It's me, Mary Ellen.
I can hear you go, Mary Ellen, 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 Ellen.
I'm Ellen.
So what number, Mary Ellen?
I'm going with sin, but...
Sin? Yeah, you're wrong. Bye-bye. So if you know the answer to that question, it is A, Michigan, B, California, C, Florida, D, Colorado, and E, none of the above, and we know it's not S with sin. So if you know the answer, please call us at 323-272-3536. Do, 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 do.
Actually, give me my phone. I'll call I know the answer.
Oh, come on, you guys. They're looking it up. They're on Google.
No,
Google searching.
They don't care.
They are Google searching it. I'm telling you, they are Google searching it.
That could be a nightmare. I don't envy anybody who's trying to Google any information about me.
So it's A, Michigan, B, California, C, Florida, D, Colorado, E, none of the above. So if you know the answer in the we have it. Someone in the live audience, they said C, Florida. Wrong. Oh, what does he do? E? None of the above? No. We have someone else in the live audience raising her hand. Get on the mic, baby. Oh, Colorado. But does she know? Oh, I got to give it to you.
May have to give
Hi,
two.
Hi, honey. Who is this? It's Rev Mel.
Hi, Rev Mel. This is Jennifer Allison.
Hi, Jennifer. We already got the answer.
Oh, okay. Well,
what did you think the answer was?
I wanted to tell Guy Baldwin that his book is like my Bible, and my master made me buy it, and I have to read from it all the time.
You have to read what?
I have to read from the book. He comes over and gives me lessons on your book, and I have to read the main 4 essays.
Uh-huh. And
So
what is the prime directive for slaves?
What is what did you say?
The prime directive?
Is that a test question?
Yes, it is a test question, as a matter of fact.
What is the prime directive for slaves?
I think it's absolute, automatic, instinctive, and immediate, which is...
You didn't learn that in Slavecraft.
Yes, I learned that in Slavecraft. That's
Okay.
one of the main things I have to always answer.
Prime directive is protect the property.
Yes, I knew that, actually, and I know
You're just giving me a hard time, huh? Okay. Well, I'm glad you liked the book, and please convey my greetings to your master and say that I appreciate his or her faith in the book.
Yes, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, honey, for calling.
Bye, Mel.
Bye, babe.
So,
The Bible.
did you give the book away or not?
Yeah, from
Great.
live audience. They won.
Yeehaw,
Yeehaw. Now we got the book done.
I guess.
Yeah, I had to. So,
So let's press on.
let's talk about what is the
You didn't get that, did you?
what did I miss?
I said, let's press on.
No. What is the DSM project? Not
Yes.
BDSM project, DSM
The
project.
DSM project, DSM stands for Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. It is the diagnostic recipe book by which mental health professionals determine mental disorders. So in order to give you a diagnosis, for example, you have to go to that book and say, does she meet these criteria for this disorder or not? And if you do, then the clinical person can confer that diagnosis and say, well, you have such and such diagnosis because you meet these qualifications in the DSM.
Okay, if I was hypothetically, okay, you guys, this is all hypothetically.
Yeah, right.
Okay. All I do is think about BDSM. I can't do anything. I can't work. All I want to do is just spend all my money on toys and play. And I just have to find all these submissives because I just can't. Every single minute, I just can't be by myself. And I just can't stop. I can't go to work anymore. And I don't eat. And I'm losing weight. Oh, wait, that's a good thing. No.
And she has pressive speech. Notice she can't, it just sort of rolls out of her continually. So we begin to wonder about obsessive compulsive disorder with you.
I've been told that. I know.
Based on what you just said, yeah. But the point is that the DSM, let me back up a bit. We are always going to be outside the law as long as the medical profession says we're sick. So in order to get the medical profession to look at us differently, that means that the language in the DSM has to change. So in 1987, during the 1987 March on Washington, Ray Spannon, my good friend, and I decided we were going to launch the DSM project, which was a project designed to mobilize mental health professionals to write to the committee that can change the language of the DSM. And so we did that. We said, you need to write to the DSM paraphilia committee that creates the language that defines what sexual sadism, sexual masochism, and fetishism specifically are, and encourage them to rethink those definitions. And we launched that project in 1987. When the next DSM was published in 93, 94, that language was changed. And it became much more difficult then to diagnose a mental illness for people who were practicing sadists, masochists, and fetishists. The whole testing criteria had changed.
So,
and overnight, millions of us were suddenly
healed?
no longer sick.
Healed.
That's not the same thing.
Well, I don't, since I don't know about this, I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
In the past, let's say I had a family member that was involved in BDSM or DS, and I thought that there was something wrong with them. That I could go to our doctor and I could say, there's something wrong. They're acting out. They're getting an incredible amount of pain. They're letting somebody beat them up, and they're smiling.
My little girl comes home with bruises all over her body
Yes.
from her boyfriend, and I'm very scared. That sort of thing.
And then in the past, they could have taken and said, well, there's something wrong with her, and she could have been maybe.
It would have been much easier to diagnose her as mentally ill than it was after 93.
Well, I'd like to say something. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. The fact that we did the DSM project and had arranged for all of that pressure to go towards the committee doesn't mean that that's what they responded to. We have no way to know what caused the committee to revise the language. All we know is that we wanted to give them as many reasons to do that as we could. So we don't know what their deliberations were about because those are all confidential. So maybe the DSM project had some influence on the committee members to update that, or maybe it didn't. But at least they knew that a bunch of people who had credentials were watching what they did. And maybe that alone was enough to cause them to review how they determined mental illness. We hope so, we don't know. But one thing that was clear to me was that we needed to do the DSM project regardless, one way or the other. And we did. So when the DSM came out, the revisions came out with language that we liked better, we said the DSM project was a success and we shut it down. Now the DSM stuff is being revisited. There's a group of people who are trying to get all the references to sadism and masochism and fetishism removed completely from the paraphilia section. And there's some reason to think there will be some changes made when the new DSM comes out.
Fabulous.
Yeah, be nice.
Yeah, we're no longer sick. Well,
Yeah, it's better than a really good day at Lourdes.
let's put them on the rack. So, when we had a question from the audience, and she asked, "What trends do you see? Is this trends in BDSM? Is this in lifestyles? What trends do you see us going into in the future?"
Wow, that's really hard to speculate about that. And the reason is that the community has exploded. Once the tent flaps went up and the internet became the primary gateway into the world of radical sexuality, it was really no longer possible to keep your finger on the pulse of what was going on all across the board. I don't know what the trends are. I know that in the gay male world, the iconography is all different now. Back in the day when I was, a young kinkling and
A whippersnapper
part
in
of that,
Colorado.
a whippersnapper,
Yeah, now we can-
only little do they know how true that is.
He snapped a lot of whips.
The iconography emerged from military, police, I'd say, and outlaw motorcycle cultures primarily. That's not true anymore. Now I think other kinds of iconography influence what younger people wear now. For example, we have the whole superhero movement because the Batman and Superman and Spider-Man comics have influenced the shape of people's sexuality a lot more now than they did when I was younger. The other piece is that now that America